Good afternoon, all. CamelbackTrading.org coming to you this Friday afternoon, August 25th. We're looking at Window Traders market profile of the ES and NQ. So after a week with some pretty big moves, up big on Wednesday, down big yesterday with the trend. Today we started trend down pretty good, only to take it all back. We basically end up, we have a $10 range for the week. It's an inside week for us in ES and SPY. And we close smack in the middle of it. It's a $10 range, 445 to 435 basically. We closed around 440, up about 1% on the week. NQ took out last week's high, which firmly put them into balance. Righty and IWM barely took out last week's low. I would still treat them as an inside week, but still down. As far as us, even though it's an inside week, it doesn't negate the one-time framing down on the weekly, but I would now call it down to balance, okay? And we'll see how we come out of it. We have a lot next week with PCE on Thursday and the job number on Friday, even though it's heading into Labor Day weekend. So the volume might dry up a little bit, but maybe because there won't be as much liquidity, the ranges will still be good. We had over an $8 range yesterday. We had a $6.30 range today, so no complaints. Had a good day, good week. Saw the market very well today, but didn't capitalize on it. I'm in a fog with this cold, can't shake it. That's not an excuse, believe me, but saw this. Once the sellers with the two sets of single prints, which were decent size, couldn't get going. I can't believe we couldn't get down and test that 43.50 low. You knew, for the most part, they had given up. I was looking for a long and I period. I was looking for it to pull back a little more to B's low. Never got there. I didn't take it. And then I said, I think the danger, when we were trading around half back, I said, I think the danger is to the shorts. I said, the sellers had their chance. The market's still short from yesterday. I said, so I think the danger would be to the shorts. And what happened? They ran them. We barely, and then I also said, if we do make a new high, I don't think we get much out of it, which we didn't. But I didn't capitalize on those. Still had a good day. Righty ends up with an afternoon pullback low in H or I, whichever one is the low one. Now, they just stretched their balance on the daily, too. We'll go over all the charts after we go through this. NQ ends with a pullback in I. We end up with a pullback in I. 8 wide for us and NQ. Righty end 7 wide. We finally raised another thing that was telling us that sellers were losing their grip. We never could lower volume POC, and eventually TPO got raised up to where it basically was also. Now I'm sure it got raised late in the day because it always does, but at that point it got raised up to basically where it was with the TPO. Not a lot of trades today. I took one trade in NQ. I didn't do anything in A and B, right? A period, the only trade I might have, no, what was that in A? No, I wasn't, no. A period, I had no desire. B period, after Powell had his prepared remarks out and then started speaking. When it ran up in B, it was tempting to take that short when they filled D singles, but I didn't do it. B period was just an all-out shit show. I can't imagine how many accounts got blown up. Why trade it? It's a coin flip. If you're a trader, and this is your livelihood, and this is your business, that's a coin flip to me. So I don't know why you would do it. So I didn't take my first trade to C period, and I made 23 points in NQ because the ebb and flow was to the downside. That was the only trade I took in that. Then I switched to the ES, made 5 points in D period on shorts. Again, in E period, even when they filled the single prints, I made on that trade initially when it got to the opening and backed off. I thought G might be an afternoon rally high. I was looking for it to go more closer to value high at the time, and maybe even near A's high, which it didn't get. So I only took a point off of that. And then in J period, I did take a short against value high the first time it came in, made some money, and that's it, because then I felt they were going to go and try to do that. And then I didn't do anything. I should have shorted L, like I said. I should have. I wasn't going to long it, even though I felt we were going to go test the highs. I didn't want to long it, but I should have maybe taken a small short in L because it came in 10 handles in a heartbeat. But still, overall, 13 points in ES, 65 on the week, and 23 in NQ. 102 points in NQ for the week, and that's after being down 80 on Monday. So very happy with that. As far as destinations, in SPY we have 441.30 as our today's high, and then you should have the other one from yesterday with the single print still. Okay. On the downside, we have the afternoon pullback low and high at 437.37, and then today's low is a weekly low at 435. In ES, 29 is the high. You should have all the other upside ones. And downside, our afternoon pullback is at 89, and then our weekly low is at 65 and a quarter. So, let's go to all the charts now and break them down. See where we stand with 1 week to go in the month of August. So again, it sounds like a broken record with Russell. They've been in balance since May of 2022 on the monthly. Okay? So that's 16 months. They got close last month, right? 201.99. They got up last month to 198.75. This month they got up to 197.94 and have come off pretty good. So that's one part of the balance rules. They got close to a balance high and rolled over. Does that mean they're going to go all the way to the bottom of the balance? It's possible. I don't know. But for now, they did roll over. They do have pretty much a triple bottom at the bottom of this balance. So it would be interesting if we ever tested that. But the monthly is firmly in a 16-month balance. The weekly is down. They barely took out last week's low, but it's still down. Okay, so monthly balance, weekly down. I would treat it as an inside week, though, because we only took out last week's low by 33 cents? Yeah. So I would treat it as an inside week. So what does that mean? It means if we take out the weekly high, you go with it and monitor it for continuation or lack of. You'd be coming back into balance and you see if they can come to the top of last week's high. If you come out to the downside, then again, still looking for shorts. And on the daily, now today was interesting. They dipped below the 200, but popped above it pretty strongly. We've been talking about, can this be the canary in the coal mine with the Russell? They've been really sitting on top of this 200-day moving average. I think that's more important than these so-called death crosses that we're having in all three of our indices with the 20 and the 50. So the Russell, it seems like they're in perpetual balance. The monthly is balanced. The daily is balanced. They just stretched their balance to the downside. The weekly is down, but treated as an inside week. NQ and triple Qs. The monthly is balanced. Again, will it be a 2 or 3 month balance? We'll see after next week. The weekly is back to balance. We took out last week's high. So I would say it's a 3-week balance. I would use the week of August 7th as the high of the balance, and I would use last week's low as the bottom of it. Okay, so they're in a 3-week balance. And the daily, also in balance. Yesterday's high is the top of it. August 18th low is the bottom of it. This is a market right now, as you're listening to this with all this balance, that needs more market-generated information. Okay? So they are in balance in all 3 time frames in triple Q and NQ. Righty is in balance in 2 out of 3. Now for us, ES and SPY. Balance on the monthly. Same theme. Now the weekly, again, didn't take out last week's low, but didn't take out last week's high. I'm calling it down to balance. Still not going to call it just strictly balance just yet. If we take out last week's high, then I'll say we're firmly back in balance. But for now, down to balance inside week. So we'll see. Again, waiting for more MGI. And the daily, balance. Yesterday's high is the top of it. The 18th low is the bottom of it. It's a $10 balance. And it's a 8-day balance. So again, nice recovery today. The sellers have to be disappointed. We had 2 size sets of single prints today to the downside, and we were $1.50 away from that 43.50 low. Figured they would go test that and maybe even test the rollover gap, and they just gave it up. So, but what does it really mean? Not much yet, right? Buyers can say, the bulls are going to say, well, the sellers absolutely failed because they couldn't do what I just said. And the bears are going to say, you spent the entire day in the lower distribution from yesterday and a good part of the day below the price probe. So both sides are right to throw those accusations out. To me, it just means it's a market that needs more MGI. Hope you had a good day and a good week trading. Come check us out at camelbacktrading.org. Really appreciate you liking and subscribing to this YouTube channel. Enjoy your weekend, and we'll speak prior to the opening on Monday.